And now, sports coverage you can count on with a Way 31 sports team.
The Hugh Freeze era has begun at Jordan-Hare Stadium. The new head coach taking the field for the first time in front of the Auburn faithful, and it was fitting because it was freezing rain that set the stage here in Auburn. A big question coming into the day was who would stand out at the quarterback position. Freeze hadn't named a starter going into spring practice, and with today's conditions, the Tigers really didn't get a chance to see which quarterback was best in the passing game.
We really had every we were really wanting to throw that ball around today. And it just, it would have been really ugly and probably a lot of 3 and outs had we tried to do that. And I think Robbie got better.
Despite the Tigers completing just 4 passes, it was clear that Robbie Ashford had the best game between the 3, rushing for 38 yards and a score, impressing head coach Hugh Freeze with his play, not just today, but this spring.
I got to keep just coming out every single day, just putting my head down and working and being that leader for the guys. So whatever happens. I'm going to keep coming out and working. And at the end of the day, if I'm QB1, I would love it. But I'm going to come out and work every single day. I just don't know how to not work. I love working, and these coaches, they love working too. So it's like we go hand in hand. Now it's just how can we just take this to the next level.
It was really the running game that impressed on a soggy Jordan-Hare field, with Sean Jackson impressing the most, tallying 77 yards on the ground, including this 16-yard scamper.
Well, I think, from today, I think you'd say overall, I think we're running the ball fairly well and getting the dirty yards from our backs, our quarterbacks helping in the run game. So I'd have to say, I think we improved that O-line some, and they look pretty decent today.
And although it wasn't a generic game, the offense needed to score 24 points to catch up with the defense, who begun the game up 24-0. The winners claiming steak dinners, the loser hot dogs. And with 1 second left on the clock, Fort Payne High School star Alex McPherson stepped up and drilled the 33-yarder, securing a 24-24 tie and a steak dinner for everybody.
So it ended in a tie. Does everyone get steaks?
Yep, and everybody, Miss Danielle can feed them all or whatever she had planned, and so I told them our first trip into Jordan-Hare, and both sides are undefeated. So I like the way it ended. And it really is good to see him kick that thing through under those conditions. It was really, really soggy and wet, and the snap was really slow, and it was good that we got some of that experience.
Mother Nature might have rained on the parade here in Auburn for their A-Day, but despite the rain, there's a sense of optimism and excitement for the new system and new head coach here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. That's going to wrap things up from Auburn. For more on Alabama A&M's spring game in Huntsville, we send it to Xavier Wary.
It's the start of a new season for the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. A wet and rainy Lewis Cruz Stadium would be the host to their maroon and white spring game. Despite their slow 0-4 start a season ago, Alabama A&M ended up with a 4-7 record, with all 4 victories coming against SWAC opponents. Head coach Connell Maynard says what he learned most about his group a season ago was their resiliency.
And these guys ain't got no quit in them. So we just got to get off to a better start this year, which I think we will. And we got to finish games a little bit better than we did last year. Got to play more consistent.
Coach Maynard was happy to see his new team back out and competing on the field. He says they'll be using the rainy conditions to help prepare them for games where weather could be a factor this upcoming season.
We can have a game like this next year in the rain, so it's football. Unless it's lightning, we're gonna play, and so it's a good test for these guys. And I just want to see them fly around, make some plays, and give these young guys the opportunity to make some plays.
Plenty of big-time plays were made in today's game as the white team walked away with a 31-8 victory. Coach Maynard says he hopes today's game is the start of his team developing their own identity.
We won't know until we get the final roster and that this team, the new team, establishes its identity. And we don't know what that is yet. So I don't know if it's going to be defense, offense, or both. So we just got to wait and see till we get the final roster and this team will come up with its own identity.
The Bulldogs' regular season will begin September the 2nd in Nashville against Vanderbilt. Xavier Wary, Way 31 Sports.